Hunter?
Yeah, what's up, dude?
What are you doing down here?
Just playing Fortnite. Well, I was playing Fortnite.
Does Bibee's family know you're down here?
Yeah, of course they know I'm down here. I've been down here for like 2 weeks? Week? One of the two? I don't know.
When do you get back to YouTube?
I don't know what to make anymore. I've made a bunch of YouTube videos and what else am I supposed to do?
I don't know. Make something creative.
Something creative? Come on, dude. This is me we're talking about.
I mean, you could always just like get inspiration from somebody else.
What do you mean?
Like, read Reddit stories like Smosh does or something. I don't know.
Get out of here, Fortnite. I can be making YouTube videos again.
Dude, put on some real pants. Am I ever going to get a break from this? Like, let me wear my gym shorts. Just put them on. Fine. Boom, baby. How's that? Seriously? You're filming this with me? No, I've got other things to do. Like get new pants. Fine. I'll go get Bibee.
Oh, is it started? Oh, okay. Hello, YouTube. How are y'all doing today? We're gonna be doing a new thing. I've got my laptop back, and I also have a monitor, but you can't see it. And I'm not gonna move this laptop because that just makes it stupid. Basically, what we're gonna be doing is reading Reddit stories, as you saw from that opening, because that opening was made months ago. And so I've decided, why not do it now that I have my laptop and I can record both me and the story. So yeah, let's do that. How do I pause? Okay. That's actually kind of cool how that works. I am enjoying this very much. Let me shut the door. I've got a friend with me. Look, little kitty wants to join today. Say hi. Say hi. Here's little Luna. I want to go put her back in her box. You go climb back in my box that was made out of my new. I mean, that was. I don't know what the box was for. Okay, I keep forgetting stuff. Oh, I do have a microphone. Yeah, there's my microphone. I'll set that up next time. You're loud. Alright. Let's do this. Also, Peep Spider-Man jersey. Peek. Alright, let's do some Reddit horror stories. Alright, I want to start with this. We're going to start with overnight shift I'll never forget, and then I took my girlfriend to my workplace as a date. Because they're both work-related. Alright. Overnight Shift I'll Never Forget by Evelyn Mistol. I think is how you say that. I don't want to butcher that, but I probably did. I gotta fix my little Reddit guy. He looks so goofy up there. Look at him. Anyway, a few years ago, I worked the overnight shift at a gas station. It was usually quiet, just a few late-night customers and truckers passing through. One night, though, things got weird. Around 2 a.m., a guy walked in. He wasn't the usual type. No car outside, no reason to be out in the middle of nowhere. He looked off. Dirty clothes, unkempt hair, and this unsettling stare that felt like he was looking right through me. He didn't say a word, just wandered the aisles, occasionally glancing at me. Finally, he came to the counter with a single pack of gum. I rang him up. When I handed him his change, his hand brushed mine, and he whispered, "You shouldn't be here." I laughed nervously, pretending I didn't hear him, but he leaned closer and said louder this time, "You really shouldn't be here." Then he smiled, turned around, and walked out. I looked outside and realized something chilling. There was no car, no bike, no anything. He had just vanished into the dark. I spent the rest of the shift jittery and double-checking the locks. The next morning, I told my manager about it, and she said, "Oh yeah, we've heard about him before. He shows up every now and then." That was my last overnight shift. Pedophile. All right. You ever had those stories where you have like a really creepy dude? This is mostly for like people that actually like have worked places that cause overnight shifts. Also, as you can see on the side, confessions. I was gonna do confessions, but I read like one of them and I was like, oh, this is actually like not funny stuff. This is god awful stuff, and we're not gonna read this because there's some really bad people in this world. Yeah. Instead, we're gonna do horror. I've had times where people have shown up and just like given me really creepy stares when working. Once, well, this isn't really a creepy person, but this is more of a awkward situation. Back when I worked at McDonald's, everybody knows about those infamous stories. I had a guy come up to me with his daughters, and they're sitting there laughing the whole time that they're there, and he's ordering, and I'm sitting in there thinking to myself, oh boy, I already know where this is going to go. He then proceeds to walk away with them, and I was like, oh, I guess that's it. Then comes back up by himself this time, and he goes, "My daughters think you're hot." Okay. You know, usually when people do that, they do that in front of the daughter to make the daughter uncomfortable and all embarrassed, and it's just a way to tease and make fun of your daughter. But no, this dude straight up was like, "I want you to get with my kids." And I'm like, dude, your kids are way younger than me. No thanks. And anyway, I ignored him and just walked away and went on my break. Next thing I know, a coworker of mine comes back there with a piece of paper and says, "Dude, this guy told me to give this to you." Inside was his daughter's phone number. I proceeded to give that to Olivia and told her to deal with it because I wasn't going to. Anyway, that was that story. Oh my. Good golly. Also, this mouse is slightly broken. As you can see, sometimes it'll do like a weird double roll. If it'll happen again. It probably will in a second. Anyway. Is the person who created this short story one? I'm going to say so. I took my girlfriend to my workplace as a date. I took my girlfriend to where I work, and I work as a care worker for the elderly. She expected me to take her to some restaurant or to some other luxury place. I bet she was thinking of leaving me when I took her home, but I knew that eventually she will love me for taking her to my workplace. I know taking someone to their workplace isn't common at all, but I really knew that she will really appreciate this date. I don't use too many relays. That makes me feel uncomfortable. I drove her to my workplace. Dude. I drove her to my workplace, and it's a huge building with 1,000 workers and 3,000 elderly people. Give me 1 second. Okay, you see, when people usually do these, they at least make them sound somewhat realistic. I thought this guy worked at a nursing home. This dude straight up works at a freaking mansion of a hospital or something. Because, oh my god, 3,000 elderly people in a nursing home is insane. With also 1,000 workers is... I'm gonna process reading that text like way later. Person that sent me that text, you know who you are. I'm gonna process reading that in like 2 days or something. I don't know. Anyway, let's get back into this. This guy.
Hunter, your hemorrhoid medicine's here.
What?
Oh, are you filming a video?
No. You want to read this horror story that is so unrealistic?
Is it real?
I thought this guy worked in a nursing home. It's a huge building with 1,000 workers and 3,000 elderly people. This is a mansion.
Well, who has 3,000 elderly people in it?
I don't know.
I'm going through all my cool family members. I was looking at my Grunkle Stan's page lab.
You have a Grunkle
I
Stan?
do have a Grunkle Stan.
All right, Dipper.
His name is actually, well, it depends on, some people call him Grunkle Stan, some people call him Baby Huey. Depends on who you are. That's his name.
I got a certain text message on my phone. I'm not processing it until after this video. I threw my phone for a reason.
I can process for you.
You're probably going to do the same thing I did. Let me let you see it with my face. Toss my phone again.
I'm not gonna even touch that with 10 football. Oh Lord.
Yep.
What did you do? What did I do? This is my fault.
know.
Should I call her?
No.
Hey, you need to chill out, okay?
I didn't do anything.
I mean, like, what does she want us to do with that information? Call somebody? Like, I don't know.
We really shouldn't have done that challenge.
This is a really bad idea. Do we need to get a ukulele, make an apology video? Hunter, I think this is some sort of come on.
What?
She wants you to get all statutory on her.
Pause. This is recording.
Is that it?
Ding, 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 ding. I'm sorry. You don't know what's happening, but I'm sorry. I'm not gonna explain it. I'm sorry.
Is this recording?
Yep. Wrong thing. Camera's right there.
I'm sorry.
We're very sorry.
No, we don't know. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, universe. This is horrible.
You're never gonna get the context of this story. Never. A hint, actually. I'll give you a little hint. It involves books. That's it. Alright. Back to the story. Sorry. Little recap. Ginormous nursing home. My girlfriend had a right grumpy face on. What is a right grumpy? I'm going to have a problem rating this. My girlfriend had a right grumpy face on, and I went into my building during the night shift. The guy working there knows me, and he let me make a fob card for my girlfriend. Now, the fob card will allow full access to every door, apart from 2 random doors. Don't know why, and when I made my girlfriend a fob card with full access. I can't read this. I'm sorry. This is short story 1. Please work on your grammar. I can't even read that. That's not even English. All right, here we go. Short. Simple, maybe. To start this off, true horror. Quotation marks, true. Batman's... What? All right, let's see what his sack has to say. To start this off, I apologize for sounding like a snarky dumbass, but I've noticed in recent years that horror movies and games rely on cheap jump scares or predictable plots. My favorite horror trope is knowledge being less scary. We as humans are always afraid of the unknown, and that's what makes true horror for me, at least. I get it, there's a scary monster out to get you in the woods, but what if there isn't? What if it's all just in your head? There's no monster, but you can't know that. If anyone knows about a series, movie, or downvote. Stupid. There's a reason. This is horror stories, not talking to... Oh my gosh. Alright, I think we're going to call it with this one. Tired by Wise Significance 47. Well, Wise Significance, you better be good. The sharp thwack of the ruler hitting the desk woke Tom with a start. Thomas Bathory, are you sleeping in my lesson? Tom rubbed his already bloodshot eyes. They stung like a swarm of angry wasps. He looked up at the blurred silhouette of his teacher. Sorry, miss. I'm just so tired. His teacher shook her head. The rest of the class tried their best to hold back their laughter. As much as Tom was in the spotlight, a peal of giggles could cause their stern teacher to turn her attention to them. This is the third time this week. I believe I'm going to have a phone call with your mother. Tom's eyes widened with alarm. He spoke with a frantic urgency. No, please, you can't reach my mom. Tom's mind struggled for an excuse. She works nights, and she's been sick. I promise I'll do better. His teacher hesitated for a moment. She tried to cast her mind back, but no matter how far it traveled, she could not remember having ever met Tom's mom. No, I'm sorry, but I think a chat with your mother is for the best. It was winter. The pavements were icy, and the cold was so intense that even the bravest people in the village would not venture out in the cold without several layers of clothing. Winter also brought another thing, one that worried Tom more than the cold. Nightfall came so much earlier now. Tom had to rush home from school every night just to make it in before it got dark. He had to make sure he was home with the doors and windows securely locked before his mother woke. Everyone either laughed at him or got angry when he fell asleep during the day, but he had to stay up all night. It was the only way. As Tom entered the door to his home, the phone was ringing. He knew it was his teacher. No one else had called since his parents had divorced, so he simply let it ring until the clanging ended. Tom checked all the doors and windows, making sure to double bolt each before he called to his mother. Mom? I'm home. It's dinner time. He knew it was going to be another long night, but he couldn't leave her alone. He'd ensured the house was as tightly sealed as a submarine, but he wasn't prepared to take a single risk. He heard the rattling of chains and the sound of metal scraping against concrete from within the basement. He knew his mother was now waking. He opened the basement door and began to head into the darkness. He made sure to lock the door behind him. This dude... I don't know if y'all can hear Biden in the other room. This dude is what? He got his mom locked up in the basement. All right. Oh my. Oh. I thought I was just reading the same thing again. Oh no, it literally is a different thing. Just the same starting. The sharp thwack of the ruler hitting the desk woke Tom with a start. Thomas Bathory. Again? I don't know how to say his name. Tom rubbed his already bloodshot eyes. They stung like a swarm of angry wasps. He looked up at the blurred silhouette of his teacher. Yet this time, he said nothing. He had no excuses left. I tried to phone your mother, but I haven't had a single answer. The breath caught in his throat. After classes in... Oh, wait. The harshness of his teacher's voice softened slightly. I'd like to speak to you after class, Thomas. Just the two of us. Tom's breath caught in his throat. After classes in... After school? The class giggled. His teacher turned to them, and their tittering instantly stopped. I need a drink. Is it alcohol? Yes, Thomas. Tom shook his head. He tried to hide his panic, but his heart rate had jumped such a tremendous speed. Oh my gosh, I lost myself. He felt it might explode. Are you on the phone with her?
That is true. What?
Are you on the phone with her?
Yes, I'm on the phone with her up there.
The way you come in, I need a drink. Is it an alcohol?
I need a drink. I need a stiff drink.
Alright, he's doing his dad role, guys.
I'm not going to disappoint you.
He felt it might explode. His mouth felt dry and the room began to spin. Miss, I can't. I have to be home before nightfall. No excuses, Thomas. I will see you after class. The remaining hour was agonizing. Tom tried to concoct a plan that would allow him to escape. He tried to excuse himself, to ask to go to the bathroom, but his teacher refused. She could see through his plan, and she was willing to go to any length to talk to the boy about what was happening at home to cause him to be so tired. When the classroom was empty, she sat down with Tom. Her strict demeanor melted away, and her eyes shone with kindness. Hunter learned to read. Thomas, is everything okay at home? Tom knew he had to leave. He knew that he had to end this conversation as quickly as possible and hope he still had enough time. But this was the first chance he'd had to speak to anyone about what he was going through. And for a moment, he forgot about the urgency to leave. My mom, she drinks. His teacher placed a sympathetic hand on his shoulder. But it's not like youth. But it's not like you think. It's when she doesn't drink that she changes. She sleeps through the day and wakes up at night. She's so thirsty. I lost myself. She's so thirsty that if she doesn't drink right away, she becomes angry. So I have to be home before she wakes. I have to be there so I can let her drink. His teacher sighed a heavy breath. The boy was only 12. This motherfucker is only 12? Yo! Okay. The boy was only 12, and she knew sharing her personal life wasn't professional. But the boy needed to know he wasn't alone. Thomas, I understand your pain. My father was an alcoholic. I had to struggle with his mood swings for my entire childhood, and it often was when he didn't drink that he... No, miss, she's not an alcoholic. His teacher nodded solemnly. I know it can be difficult to admit, Thomas. Acceptance is the first step to recovery, and even loved ones have to... Tom banged his fist on the table, startling his teacher. Tears had filled Tom's eyes, and his voice wavered with every word he spoke. I'm going to roll this down so I can see the bottom. No, you're not listening to me. I have to be there so she can drink. He looked his teacher directly in the eyes, and she saw a boy who had lived an ordeal way beyond his years. Me. Sorry. His teacher furrowed her brow. She drinks you? Without consciously doing so, she released a short chuckle, immediately catching it and holding it back. The entire thing sounded ridiculous, but she wanted to maintain a caring stance towards him. Thomas, I'm not entirely sure what you mean. Tom, with slow and hesitant motions, slowly began to lift up his sleeves. Littered sporadically up his arms were a series of bite marks. His teacher gasped. My mom, she used to work a normal job throughout the day. It was before my dad left. One wage wasn't enough, so she had to take on a second job. She worked as a taxi driver down in the city. I spent a lot of time alone, but I didn't mind. I knew she was just trying to make sure we got by. One night she came home crying. She told me a passenger had tried to hurt her. She didn't give me details, but I thought I knew what she meant. But then she showed me the bite mark on her neck. She promised she would go to the doctors as soon as she could, but within a single day, the change started to happen. There was 3 months ago. After that, everything changed. I had to watch my mom turn from a woman whose only goal in life was to make sure her son had a roof over his head and food on his table, into a monster driven only by its hunger for blood. If she doesn't drink, then the evil takes over. It becomes uncontrollable. I'm not sure why her bites haven't changed me. Maybe it's because we're related? But that's why I'm so tired. I have to make sure she doesn't manage to get anyone near anywhere. Jeez Louise. anywhere near other people, so I watch her every night. Please, miss, I need to get home. If my mother gets out, she'll... Thomas, wait right here. I'm going to phone the police and we're going to get you somewhere safe. His teacher didn't believe what the boy had said exactly, but she believed the bite marks on his arm were real. She assumed the mother had suffered some sort of mental breakdown, a combination of stress from overwork and the divorce. Tom sat silently with his head buried in his hands as his teacher left the room. He heard the door open and then close. Immediately, he rose from his seat, opened the window of the classroom, and dropped out onto the school field. He sprinted across the car park and off the school premises as fast as he could. The sun had already set. He struggled to keep even a flicker of hope within his heart. Though his muscles screamed in agony and he tasted blood at the back of his throat, he never slowed down once the entire journey home. He stood outside his home and looked up at the front door. It had been smashed open from the inside. The wooden door was now hanging off its hinges. He was too late. His mother was free. Anyway, I'm going to pause real quick so we can get back to full screen. Alright guys, that was me reading Reddit stories to make up for when I was supposed to do that months ago. So, if you enjoyed, please hit a like. I never say that, but I'm going to say it now. Please hit a like if you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time. Let me turn this thing off so I don't look like a stupid little idiot.